Close your eyes. Imagine Earth before satellites, before GPS, before we ever heard a human voice from space. Now imagine this: in less than one lifetime we went from looking at to touching other worlds. And each time we did, history didn't just move forward, it changed direction. Space missions aren't just science projects. They reshape war, economies, technology, and even what humans believe about their place in the universe. Tonight, we're counting down the missions that didn't just explore space. They rewrote life on Earth, from the first satellite to the telescope that showed us the deepest time. October 19, 1957, a metal sphere called Sputnik 1 leaves Earth, and suddenly the planet feels smaller. It wasn't just a satellite, it was a message. Space is now a new frontier, and whoever controls it controls the future. Sputnik triggered a global scramble that fueled rocketry, computing, surveillance, and modern communications. Everything from weather forecasting to global navigation traces part of its lineage, and just 4 years later, a human followed it. April 12, 1969, Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space, one orbit that shattered an ancient boundary. For the first time in history, humanity had proof that we don't just live on Earth, we can leave it. And that changed psychology, politics, and possibility. July 19, 1969. Apollo 11 launches on a single goal: land humans on the moon, and return them safely. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins. A mission built by hundreds of thousands of people and watched by the entire planet. When humans set foot on the moon, it didn't just prove technology, it proved something deeper. A species can aim at the impossible and hit it. And the ripple effects: miniaturized electronics, computing advances, materials science, engineering methods. Apollo accelerated entire industries. But after the moon, we didn't stop. 1977, 2 spacecraft were launched, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They weren't just probes, they were time capsules. Each carries the Voyager golden record: sounds, images, and greetings from Earth, designed for any intelligence that might one day find it. Think about that. A civilization sending its heartbeat into the cosmic ocean. Voyager transformed what we knew about Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And in doing so, it changed who we are. We became a species capable of sending a message beyond our world. 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope launches, and it changes astronomy forever, not just with pretty pictures, but with proof. Then in 1995, Hubble stared at what looked like empty darkness for days. The result, the Hubble Deep Field, revealed roughly 3,000 distant galaxies in a patch of sky that looked like nothing. That one image rewired our understanding. The universe isn't mostly empty, it's overflowing. And Hubble's science continues to reshape big questions, from galaxy evolution to how fast the universe is expanding. 1995, darkness to 3,000 galaxies. But there's something even more important than seeing far away. It's learning how to live out there. The International Space Station began with its first module launching into orbit in 1998. Marking the start of a permanent human presence in space. And by November 2000, humans began living in space continuously, every day, non-stop. That's not a stunt, that's a new era. A floating laboratory where we study human survival, materials, biology and technology, and microgravity. Research that, feeds back into life on Earth. January 14, 2005. A probe called Huygens descends through Titan's atmosphere and lands. This wasn't Mars, this was the outer solar system, a world with thick haze, strange weather, and landscapes that feel like a dream. Huygens proved we could land on distant worlds far from the sun. August 2012. NASA attempts something that sounds impossible: lower a car-sized rover onto Mars with a flying rocket crane. Curiosity's sky crane maneuver changed how we land heavy payloads on Mars, and opened the door to larger, more capable rovers. Curiosity helped transform Mars from a red dot into a world with a story, one we can read in rock layers, chemistry, and ancient environments. July 12, 2012, the James Webb Space Telescope releases its first images, delivering the deepest, sharpest infrared view of the universe yet. Webb doesn't just show galaxies, it shows time, light that has traveled billions of years, turning the sky into a fossil record. And Webb is already reshaping what we thought we knew about early galaxies and cosmic structure, because the universe is often older, faster, and weirder than our predictions. Here's the truth. The most history-changing mission might not be behind us. It might be the next one, the first mission to return humans to the moon and stay, the first real steps toward Mars, the first undeniable signature of life, out there. Because every time we reach into the dark, we pull out a new version of ourselves. If you want part 2, the missions that almost ended in disaster, comment part 2, and subscribe to Life and Nature Matters for space stories that feel like movies.